How's it going, by this is Z33 here back to a brand new video. More March Madness updates. The first day of round 2, round 32. I actually was incorrect on my past video saying that there were no more perfect brackets. There are indeed some perfect brackets. I believe this is the first time in many years that after the first day there were still perfect brackets. Now we have perfect brackets after the first entire round. So that's pretty impressive. I think there's about two left at this point. Literally only two in the entire world. So that's pretty cool. Oh, my computer's about to die. But this is the longest we've had perfect brackets in a long, long time. Let's go and get into it. St. Louis, the 9 seed, who beat Georgia by almost 30 points. A small mid-major beat Georgia. Now, Georgia's never really been a basketball school, but they are still a SEC team, and they still a Power 5 school with a lot more money than St. Louis. But they lost by 30 points. But they're playing 1 seed Michigan and didn't go too hot this game. They lost 72 to 95 over a 20-point victory for 1 seed Michigan. 6 seed Louisville versus Michigan State. Michigan State pulls out late. Now, unfortunately, I did work, so I haven't got to watch a lot of these games as I usually do, so I have a lot less information to give you guys. But Louisville, again, one of those teams that ever since their championship in 2013, they have not had a lot of success in March. In fact, they went after it got vacated, but I think the vacation, them losing they're still the championship. Everyone else is out. The NCAA is a corrupt institution. No one really cares what they say. But Louisville had some down years for a long time. New coach came in. He's doing a tremendous job. Last year, again, they had a great year in the ACC. A very surprising great year in the ACC. Had a okay year this year. Definitely lost a bit more than they probably thought. But they always seem to lose early in the tournament when they do make it. And they fall to a really good Michigan State team. They're just unfortunate that they had to play Michigan State. Pulls away late, 77 to 69. TCU versus Duke. This was a close game in the first half. I believe Duke had a 2-point lead going into the first half, and then TCU quickly gained the lead as Duke had 3 straight turnovers. There was a lot of speculation online about the referees and that they were biased towards Duke. Two of TCU's players got into foul trouble early. Here's the thing about this. When Duke wins, people always complain about the ref, that the refs changed the outcome of the game. That's why Duke won. Every time. Duke is the most hated program in the entire world in terms of college basketball. That's just a fact because of how successful they have been for a long time. Duke is a team that typically does not shoot a lot of threes and does not shoot the three well. They have good players. Isaiah Evans is a great shooter. But he's not constantly hitting shots. Now, he's had a good stretch of games, but they're not really the 3-point shot is not their bread and butter. They have Cam Boozer, probably going to be the player of the year, and Gumba, two really good postmen that can score down low easily. They do a lot of pick and rolls, a lot of action into the paint or feeding it into the paint. If you feed the ball into the paint on the vast majority of possessions, you're going to get fouled because that's where fouls occur the most, is in the paint. Therefore, you're going to draw a lot of fouls. Therefore, you're going to shoot a lot of free throws. Therefore, you're going to shoot more free throws than other teams on most occasions, and that is Duke's bread and butter. They want to get to the line. They want to get down low. They want to draw fouls. That is like one of the most key elements of their game plan. So it's going to happen. So people were complaining about, Duke shot way more free throws. That's how you go ahead and look at that. Let's go and look at the stats here. Let's look at the free throws. So fouls, only a 4-point difference. TCU only shot 10 free throws. Duke made double that. Now, normally they do not shoot this well free throw wise. They only missed 3. That's really, really impressive. And they had 17 turnovers. So Duke is a great team in terms of not turning the ball over. They normally only turn it over around 10 times. This is a super high. I think this might be one of the highest they've had all year, if not the highest. So that was keeping TCU in the game. They were turning it over a lot. Here's the thing. From watching a bit of the game, there were a lot of more missed calls. Duke probably should have shot at least 5, if not 10 more free throws. TCU was grabbing their jerseys a lot, so there were a lot of missed calls as well that they weren't calling. People just love the drag on Duke. Duke won. They pulled away late, as they normally do in the second half, 81-58. Like doing their game plan. TCU's unable to stop their game plan. So they won. It's that simple. That's all there is to it. That's to go ahead and look at the score. Actually, Gumba did come back in this game. They're a big player. It's going to be huge. He only played 12 minutes. Normally is a starter at least 25 minutes. But hopefully as tournament rings on, he'll play a bit more. But he had a pretty good game coming back. 4 points, 2 field goals, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 fouls. He does get called for fouls a lot. I will give it that. Boozer had a great game. 19.7 of 10. Dame Sarr finally has a good shooting night. He has shot really bad for about a month, almost. He shoots 4 of 7, had 14 points. Brown continues to shine in a starting role because most of the passes to him are dunks or layups, so easy to make those. Moving on, number 10 seed Texas A&M playing Houston. This game, yikes. 31-point victory for Houston. That's pretty impressive. Houston is looking dangerous because they're beating. A&M's not a bad team. They competed in the SEC, but Houston absolutely wallops them. That is impressive and shows that Houston is here to make a deep run again. Another big upset. Texas beats Gonzaga. I personally had this in my bracket. I have Texas going pretty far. I think Texas is a sleeper team, the best sleeper team in the nation. They've grown a lot over the year. They were very, very turnover prone. Sean Miller is an excellent coach. Used to coach at Arizona. Has a lot of Sweet 16 experience, a lot of tournament experience, and he's got them cooking at the right moment. They're shooting well, playing good defense, great rebounding. Again, Gonzaga is from a small conference. They don't play anybody all year. They normally perform better in March Madness. They are still a good program, but Texas handles them. And late three, actually, there was one player that didn't play for most of the game. I think he played in the start, and then he sat for 32 minutes, came in cold, and shot a corner three to pretty much ice the game and put the game out of reach for Gonzaga. And Texas continues their Cinderella run. Now, they're still a big school. It's not really a Cinderella, but at 11 seed, you are a Cinderella if you're moving to Sweet 16. VCU, 11 seed, playing Illinois. This game, they do not pull off the comeback. They're down by 19 to North Carolina. Pull off that comeback to win overtime. This time they're playing Illinois, a much, much better team than North Carolina. North Carolina is not a good team, in my opinion, especially without their star player. And they might just be about to lose their coach. But Illinois gets the job done. They win by 21 points, 76-55. Vandy and Nebraska. This game was a beauty. Down to the wire. Nebraska gets a layup, take the lead, 74-72. Vanderbilt throws a half-court heave in the last seconds. The ball really goes into the basket, rims around, and then comes out. So literally just an inch and a hair, a centimeter, millimeter difference. Vandy wins by 1, 75-74. But that was not the case. Vandy's season ends in dramatic fashion. What a beautiful game. Could have been a top-tier March Madness moment of this year. Nebraska, after having never won a game in March Madness ever, is now moving on to the Sweet 16 for the first time, and is 2-0 this year. Has won 2 straight games. High Point playing Arkansas, the 12 seed, the Cinderella, goes down to Arkansas. Arkansas pulls away. This game was down to the wire the whole game, back and forth. High Point is an incredible mid-major team. Kudos to them. Great coaching job, great players. They played their hearts out. But Arkansas, I was like, oh crap! If Arkansas loses this game, my bracket is screwed. I think Arkansas is a sleeper for a Final Four team. Arkansas will get it done. Let's go ahead and check and see how Acuff did. Look at the three-pointers. They only shot 10 of 38. It's 26%. Meanwhile, Arkansas was 9 of 16. It's 56%. Really impressive. Now, they made one more three-pointer, but again, imagine if they would have shot 40% or maybe 30%. They win the game. Arkansas got to the line very, very well. 20 free throws to 11. Rebounds pretty much the same. Good turnovers. Acuff had, 36 points, 11, 22, 3 of 6. That's really impressive. This guy is the best guard in the nation, in my opinion. The best guard. And he's a freshman. Arkansas is going to be good for a long time. Coach Calipari, Kentucky is stupid for letting Coach Calipari go. Absolutely stupid. Arkansas is going to be a big-time team for a long time until Calipari probably retires. And I'm here for it. Well, I used to live in Arkansas. Got a lot of friends in Arkansas. They all seem to be pretty happy about Calipari, especially this year. So that's second round. The first day of the second round. Let's go ahead and see what we have for slated today. About to start number 7 seed Miami and Purdue. I don't want to actually watch and get copyright striked. The same exact record, but one's a 2 seed, one's a 7 seed. Again, Purdue started the season out as one of the top teams in the nation, so that kind of makes sense. Miami was not expected to do very well, but the new coach, Jay Lucas, has them in the right direction. And look for them to pull up I think that they could pull up the upset today. I really do. 7 seed Kentucky versus 2 Iowa State. Kentucky surviving against the Tennessee Santa Clara in overtime. They're not playing Iowa State. Now, Iowa State did lose their best player. He is unlikely to play today. However, they are still a powerhouse. One of the best teams in the nation. I think they are the best 2 seed. I think they're better than UConn. I think they are a Final Four caliber team. I do have Iowa State going to the Final Four. I have them being Michigan. Kentucky has its, I think, 1 or 2. Either Kentucky wins a close game or Iowa State blows them out by 20 plus points. And I would think the latter would happen. I think Iowa State's about to blow them out and prove them as frauds. Mark Pope might be out of a job pretty soon. St. John's and Kansas. This game is going to be a bloodbath. Kansas, the blue blood itself. St. John's, revitalized under Rick Pitino. Remember, St. John's beat UConn in their conference championship by 30 points. This is a dangerous team. They only have 6 losses. I personally will be rooting for St. John's. I'm not really that big of a Kansas fan, especially with their new player. Doesn't really seem to play a lot. I think it's Darian Peterson or something like that. Really suspect kind of guy, but still a good player nonetheless. But that's going to be a great game right there. 2 masterminds of coaches. Tennessee and Virginia. Tennessee was one of those teams that was predicted to lose pretty heavily. They get upset by Miami, Ohio, who had 1 loss. However, they beat them pretty soundly. They're playing Virginia. It's going to be one of those tough games. These are both really, really sound teams. It's going to be a great game. Iowa and Florida. Now this, again, Iowa. We know about Iowa. Most of their players are former non-Division I players that then transferred to follow their coach to a small Division I mid-major program. They made a splash last year in March Madness. He then got the job at Iowa, and they followed him. Now, Florida is a deadly team, one of the best teams in the nation. Don't get me wrong. There is a high chance that they blow out Iowa, but there is also a chance that Iowa keeps it close and pulls off our first major upset. Major upset of the year. And I wouldn't mind seeing it. That would be cool to watch Iowa knock out the defending champion and make a deep run as a 9 seed. Do not take them lightly. They're a good team. Utah State and Arizona. Utah State beat Villanova. They're now playing Arizona. We have 2 losses on the year. This would be shocking if Utah State pulls it off. I think if you compare Iowa to Utah State, it is a night and day difference. That Iowa probably could beat Utah State by 20 points as well. So look to Arizona to dominate them, but you never know. UCLA and UConn. This is another one of those games that could be an upset. UCLA is a great team. They're playing their best basketball in March. Had a great defensive game last year. Great defensive game last game. They need to have one again. UConn is one of the best offensive teams in the nation. Their coach, Dan Hurley, is a great X and O's guys, gets a lot of easy buckets, screens, cut to the basket, movement off ball. UConn's a good team. But UCLA, one of those teams that you not take lightly. They got a lot of good players. And they could pull off this upset, and that'd be crazy to see. I wouldn't put it past them. Texas Tech and Alabama again. Texas Tech is playing without their star player, JT Toppin, but they're still a very, very tough team. Remember, Texas Tech is one of 2 teams all year to beat Duke. They came back from 15 down to beat Duke at a neutral site. I think it was Duke's first loss at Madison Square Garden like ever. Despite Texas Tech being a 5 seed, Alabama being a 4 seed, I think Texas Tech is the better team by far on paper. Could be a close game, or it could be Texas Tech bumming Alabama out the water. You never know. But we'll see what happens. Talking about Miami, I'm looking at this stat right here. Last 2 years, they've had 22 wins. First year under head coach, this game right here, that's starting now, Jay Lucas, they have 26 wins. So they're in the right direction with their new coach. This is the slate for today. It's going to be, March Madness has been great so far. We'll see if we got any upsets today. Again, there are 2 perfect brackets remaining. Let's see if those 2 go out today. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. Go ahead and remember to comment down below how your bracket's doing. If you've got pretty good percentage of correct picks, or if you've been busted completely. By the way, I appreciate all the love and support. As always, this is Z03 signing out. Stay frosty, y'all.